We are entering the ruins of the Church of St. John. Notice the huge fortress in the background. Ephesus is amazing. It attracts the interest of Christians all over the world. Did you know that it was the home of the Apostle John, who wrote the 4th book of the New Testament? How did he get here? And why? On the cross, Jesus pointed to his mother and said to John, "Behold, John, this is your mother." And John gladly undertook the responsibility of Mary all the way to the end of his life. Ephesus is where John and the Virgin Mary came to live and die. Now we are entering the interior of the Basilica of St. John. 300 years after the death of John, a small chapel was constructed over this grave, which was built in the 4th century. The Apostle John also wrote the book of Revelation. He began to follow Jesus while fishing in the Lake Galilee. He became one of Christ's closest disciples and was with him on various significant events, such as the Transfiguration and the Crucifixion. This marble street was the main street in the ancient city. It leads from the library to the Great Theater. The construction of the Marble Road dates to the 1st century AD. On the Marble Road, there are some drawings believed to have been an advertisement of the brothels. This advertisement is known as the first advertisement in history. The explanation of this footprint is that it shows visitors to turn at this place. The woman's head symbolizes the woman waiting in the brothels, and the heart shows that the women are eager for love. Busts and statues of the important people were erected along the road, and letters from emperors were carved into the marble blocks to let people read them. These ruins of Ephesus were amazing. To think we were walking in the footsteps of the apostles. Unbelievable. As we continued to walk the Marble Road, there it was, the Great Theater. My athletic husband journeyed to the top of the theater to capture its magnificent view and the enormity of the structure. At the top, you could hear the people below on the stage as if they were standing right next to you. Listen carefully to our tour guide. You notice he made it. This is the most magnificent structure in the ancient city of Ephesus. It was built in the 3rd century BC and was enlarged in the Roman period to the current style of today. It seats 25,000 people. There are 3 sections of seatings, and one section was made with marble backs. This was reserved for important people. The stage area was 3 stories plus, which was 59 feet high. It was decorated with columns, windows, and statues. There were 5 door openings to the orchestra area. The middle door was wider than the rest. This enhanced the appearance of the stage to make it look even bigger, as if it weren't big enough. This theater was used for religious services and for political and philosophical discussions. It was also used for fighting, both gladiators and animals. Today the theater is still used for plays and concerts. As a matter of fact, Elton John performed here in 2001. Can you just imagine sitting here listening to a concert? How gorgeous was that? And there I am singing on stage. I bet none of you knew I could do that. Now Now there's my hero coming out the side entrance. The big riot discussed in the Bible against the Apostle Paul took place at this very theater. He was imprisoned right here on this mountain in this very castle. We left the great theater and walked down Arcadian Street, also known as Harbor Street, because it was on a sea harbor. It was gorgeously designed with marble slabs and colonnades to entice the sailors and traders who entered Ephesus when they came from sailing the sea. This street was 1,738 feet long and 36 feet wide. On both sides of the street were shops and galleries, and the gates were in the form of beautiful arches. There were 4 different columns with statues of an apostle on the top of each one. Because of history here, I'm certain 2 of the statues were Paul and John. These sewer channels ran beneath the marble flagstone. Larry and Jim were amazed at the technology for back then. Of course, that's a man's thing. Now here's Jim entering the Harbor Street baths. This place was huge. It consists of 3 parts: baths, gymnasiums, and athletic grounds.
Connected straight to the sea, right? And the thing is, the Romans were very clean people. There used to be another water channel just by their level, okay? Spring. Because every Roman used to have a sea sponge in their bucket. Once they finish the thing, let's say, okay?
Excavation of Ephesus has been ongoing for over 100 years. Here are recently uncovered ruins. Discoveries have been taking place in several areas in this 5,000-year-old city, and only 10% of Ephesus has been unearthed. As you can see, Ephesus was once a seaport, but is now 6 miles away from the sea. The reason Ephesus is no longer a seaport is because the land shifted due to earthquakes. Here we are back on the ship, watching the sunset, tired but looking forward to our next adventure.